Hello, I'm Dr. Gloria Horsley.
And I'm her daughter, Dr. Heidi Horsley.
Heidi and I want to welcome you to Open to Hope Conversations, the podcast.
We believe that the greatest gift you can give yourself after a loss is hope, using this moment to connect with others who have not only survived but thrived.
So let's get started. Welcome to the Open to Hope show. I'm your host, Dr. Gloria Horsley, with my daughter and co-host,
Dr. Heidi Horsley.
Well, Heidi, we're going to talk about spirituality and pet loss today. And I will say we have so many people who suffer over the death of animals. And I love the idea that we have somebody here who can talk to us about it. Because as an animal lover, and you have had pets, all of us have had pets in our family. And man, we do suffer when those pets leave us.
Yeah. Absolutely, Mom. And I know when my brother Scott died, he was only 17. And one of the things that helped you, Mom, so much and the rest of the family is getting our two little dogs, Jessica and Brittany.
Right.
I mean, they've since died, but they were really amazing after Scott left. They really helped us.
They did, absolutely. Well, will you introduce our guest today?
Sure. As you said, Mom, we're talking about embracing the spiritual presence of lost pets. And we are talking with Miki Jacobs. Miki is a certified intuitive practitioner, an Israeli-American international medium, and a best-selling author. She has written Soul Secrets, a spiritual guidebook to your team, angels, spirit guides, and departed loved ones, and her latest book, which has already won 5 prestigious awards, Sacred Wild, the spiritual world of animals, including pets, and its interconnectedness with ours. Welcome to our podcast, Miki.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me, Gloria and Heidi. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Today we're going to focus a little bit more on pet loss. What's the difference between humans and pets as far as grief and loss and goes?
So that's the thing, Gloria, is there is no different. So my main teaching, which why I wrote Sacred Wild, is that people will be able to be a little bit more open to the concept that, like us human beings, assuming obviously you told you within spirituality, that we have a soul within the body, which is of course part of the creator that reside within us, that's very powerful tool within us. There is no any difference between animals and us in regard to them. Animals, meaning pets included, of course, that they have the soul, meaning part of God within the body. Understanding that or adapting it truly and authentically is give a completely different perspective of our pet or animal completely, because they do have God within them, which provide them with so many spiritual powers, which prevent them from understanding us, which providing them from protecting us in so many ways that we do not know, due to the powerful energy that reside within them. It is very important for me to bring it up so people don't see our pet as secondary or beneath us human beings.
You talk about what our pets give us, the comfort, they're so intuitive. And that's why it hurts so much when they leave us. I mean, there's such a different kind of bond than you. They don't have the expectation that you're going to do this or that for them.
And they give you unconditional love.
Yeah.
And they are also really good at knowing when you're distressed, when you're sad, when you're angry. I mean, they're, coming and comforting you.
Right. Right. So that's the thing, Heidi, which why I always start my teaching, including the book, is about talking about the soul, because having the soul within the body provide them a broadened perspective, more so than us. Really briefly, the reason they have more spiritual power than us, than I can touch real quick, is because animals do not have the interference of what we refer to as an energy of an ego. Human beings have the energy of an ego within the body. The ego accumulate to negative intention and greed and killings and negativity that kind of interfere with the soul shining through us. Animals do not have an ego. A lot of people come and tell me, no, my dog has an ego. No, they don't. They have the personality of the breed, and they do not have ego because animals do not intentionally harm someone or something else. And because there is no interference from the energy of the ego within the body, the soul shine through. You don't need a Mickey Jacobs or anyone to tell you that. All we need to do is watch our pets. Watch how soothing they are, delightful they are. So when I say that their soul provide them with spiritual powers, they're able to sense how we feel. They're able to sense if we stress. They're able to sense if we sick. I used to be a chaplain in a hospital, guys, so animals know when we're ready to die. Animals can read our energy because, again, the soul just shining through. That's why they know when to come to us, when soothe us, when to be playful, delightful, powerful, also due to their soul in the body. Animals are able to detect negative energy, fascinatingly enough, pockets of negativity within our home. Cats, for example, able to sponge negativity within their system and kind of release it away from us. So they are quite magical.
I feel like you've just shown us why pets are so important. And
Oh,
yet we minimize it when they die and say, well, it was just a dog. Well, these boys, as my cousin calls them, they were from the same litter and they are such an important part of his life. They're his fur babies. And one has just died.
The dogs are 8 years old. Now, I know a lot of our audience that are listening to this or watching it are suffering now because their pet has died. He is
Mm-hmm.
suffering. The
yes,
dog died last week.
yes,
So, and the dog is,
With the bigger head.
these dogs are French bulldogs, and they're brothers from the same literature. Their names are Finn and Articus. And Finn, on the right-hand side, had thyroid cancer
yeah,
and passed away last week.
yeah,
The one with the bigger head.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Passed away
It's
last
not,
week.
yeah.
And he said the only thing he wants to know is this, and I'm sure many of you people are feeling the same way about your animals. He says, I just want to know that he is okay.
of course he's okay. So the soul is immortal the moment the body ceases to exist, meaning when we die, human and our pets, of course, the soul exit the body, travel to the spirit world and free from physical body. He's actually quite pleased that the passing happened faster than later. This is a dog that very much was done within the incarnation. Sometimes I tuning into departed loved one or pets that are meant to continue life and something went wrong.
I have talked to my nephew and other people. He did have the dog put down, and
Yeah,
that is really painful for
yeah,
him.
yeah,
But he could
yeah,
see the
yeah,
suffering. They wanted to do chemotherapy,
yeah, yeah,
and it
yeah,
was a thyroid. It was large. He had trouble
right,
swallowing,
right,
and
right.
you still have those questions.
So
And
that's the thing, there's almost appreciation, although the soul or the dog obviously understand the pain. The appreciation is that although it was hard on my father or my dad, as they call it, pets, it was better sooner than later. Either way, it would have not worked because he's using the phrase stubborn. So nothing would have worked. There is also appreciation here. He's happy, he's in peace. He was glad that the soul finally left the body. He had a lot of discomfort in his stomach. I don't know if it was bloated, it was hard. So the dog was free of pain and very much still with him. There is another thing, Gloria, here. Keep the collar or the leash because it's kind of connect the energy. It's the same thing when departed loved one come forward and a spouse say, don't kind of keep the ring. You don't necessarily have to wear the ring, but keep the ring or keep jewelry. So he shown the kind of to keep that.
Keeping the collar and the leash would be important and an important way to connect with the energy of the dog.
Right.
now, what should we be looking for with our animal if we want to connect
Right.
with it after it's passed
So
on?
really briefly, Gloria, everyone can do what I do. I did not born a medium. I was in the army and all those, past the religion came from Judaism. Everyone can do it. And once we're able to connect to spirit, from spirit guide to departed loved one to angel, everything is the same. Soul is the soul. It's require a lot of work, I must say. It's require creating a spiritual lifestyle where your mind, body, spirit is fairly aligned. Obviously, if there's an ego and drama and the mind is all busy and negativity, we can never hear spirit. including pets. So for now, so people can work on it, can use, I did, I was 32 years old when I trained, or rather sharpened the ability to connect to the spirit world. So we can all do it, which is very important to know. But for now, if someone is a beginner, the soul will continue to give signs all the time, from sitting and watching TV. You see, so that's intuitive feeling to signs. Signs from pets are very obvious. Sometimes they drop their leash, sometimes they move their bed. Sometimes, which is fascinating, guys, there you can hear kind of nails on the floor. Sometimes you can hear them on the, so there's plenty of signs that they are given to us in order to prove to us that indeed their death was not the end and their soul is happy and in peace.
Do you think that the other dog connects with
So
the
once again,
sibling?
because there is no interference like us, meaning we can hear and see departed loved one, but again, there is an ego, there is a mind of a human being that is the biggest obstacle to anything in spirituality. Once again, our pets don't have it. So because their soul shine through, which is why I decided to talk about it right at the beginning, they can hear us, they can see us, and it's very easy to prove that, if you will, guys. Look at your pet when sometimes they do things like that, kind of look around, kind of that's clearly they're having a full-blown conversation with their departed sibling as well as departed. So it's just a matter of believe in spirituality. Believe in spirituality is not listen to a podcast today and say, I'm spiritual. We have to feed it energetically. We have to gather spiritual knowledge. We have to, so, but it's very much real.
When my son died, we got dogs after he died, and they were so comforting to us. And they could, they sat on your lap when you cried, but they didn't
Yes,
know my son. But I
yes,
was thinking the little spirit dog that's left has
yes.
to not only comfort his master, but he has to find comfort in himself.
Yes, yes, yeah, yeah. It's really is magical, which why I repeat always to stay open to the concept. If you're not open to the concept, the core, first concept, that indeed they do have a soul within the body. And the reason I repeat that, guys, because throughout my 18 years as a medium, so many people absolutely think that animals or their pets are secondary to them, which cause them to honor them, certainly not to look at them as a spiritual divine being. So that is the number one that it's important to remember, because once you believe in that, you look at your pet in different ways with all their abilities.
Miki, if you want to connect more with your pet that has died, are there things that you can do, or is it just being open to seeing the signs?
So what we need to do is, where I mentioned, is be a little bit more receptive to the spirit world. Again, spirit world can mean all soul. Of course, I'm only talking about light being, from spirit guide, angel, departed pets, departed loved one, But it does require work, Heidi. It does require work. It doesn't mean Miki is perfect. It's mean I know what work. And if the mind is busy and negative, which is the collective energy of humanity as it is very heavy right now, hence the shape of the world, we already walk around kind of heavy, the mind overly busy. So it's require work. Work real quick, meaning meditation. You cannot escape meditation. Meditation simply means you have to be with yourself, quiet your mind, use whatever tools you want to use in order to open the channel and be a little bit more receptive. Then you slowly start feeling them, you see more signs. If you don't, then your mind is all into the material world that we hear nothing, and therefore think they're just dead. So it's really a cooperation of us growing spiritually, staying receptive and open, creating a spiritual lifestyle. They're already there and waiting. Again, whether spirit guide, angel, our departed loved one, including pets, of course. But I agree with, I believe Gloria was saying how devastating it is to lose one. I mean, I would probably say, guys, that when I lose one of my kids here, it's depression. It's just awful. But what you do about it is, again, is you learn spirituality, gather knowledge, such as podcasts like that. You feel it for yourself. The lovely thing about spirituality, once you apply the effort, there's benefits. If there are no benefits, no one would grow spiritually, meaning that's when you start feeling them. That's when you have that intuitive inner knowledge, 100%. I know my pet is with me.
I love that. I know my pet is with me. So saying to Rick, he wants to know if his dog is all right. And I know through the years when I've worked with compassionate friends and with bereaved parents, whatever our losses, it's always, are they okay? Is kind of the first question. And you're saying,
Very
yep.
much happy, very much in peace. Again, he's happy not to suffer. There is something about that he used to very much like to not be on the leash. Dog park or let him go. Or grief is a very heavy energy, which why I tell people if you lose someone, pet or human being, clear up your grief a little bit. Some grief don't go away, certainly when we love something like that so much. But the grief is energy. Work on your grief, because once the grief clear up a little bit, once again, the channel is a little bit more receptive, whether direct communication, meaning feeling them, seeing them, or certainly the beautiful concepts of signs.
Do you have like one ritual that you particularly like to do when an animal passes away?
So I kind of what I use, refer the phrase, Gloria, I lift up spirituality a little bit more. I kind of have spiritual knowledge in order to stay a little bit more connected. I also, if one of my kids, I don't have human kids, those are my kids. One of my kids kind of die, I kind of try to detach from remembering the form and going towards my knowledge about the soul. It's spirituality would soothe people, but again, it's require retraining the mind to kind of shy away from the immense tragedy that happened, is to kind of where they are. Knowledge would do that, meditation would do that, stay in connection to do that, lifestyle would do that, like meditation, like study, like designating time aside every day for spirituality. This is all core spiritual concept that once you accomplish that, easier to see through the veil.
And getting your book, I'm sure, would be very helpful to get a lot of your ideas. Tell us where we can get your book, Sacred Wild: The Spiritual World of Animals, Including Pets, and Its Interconnection with Us.
So the best is to go to my website, which is MIKIJACOBS. The book is there, interviews are there. I mean, I'm very, very passionate of sharing the word about animals. I have 20 here. We rescue for over 3 decades now. We rescue animals.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being on our show today.
My pleasure. It was wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Miki. And I read something that I love that you said, and you said, you are never alone. Everyone has a spiritual team. And I found that so comforting. So thank you so much for everything you do.
My pleasure, Heidi. Thank you. Thank you.
And we want to thank everybody for joining us on this show today. And Heidi and I always want to remind you that if you've lost hope, please lean on ours until you find your own. And God bless.
I'm Dr. Heidi Horsley. You have been listening to Open to Hope, the podcast. You can follow Open to Hope on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. To learn more, visit us at opentohope.com and go to Apple Podcasts to subscribe.
I'm Dr. Gloria Horsley. Join us again next week for another Open to Hope conversation, where we invite you to lean on our hope until you find your own.